I always thought betrayal would break me, but when I caught Claire, my wife of 7 years, in the arms of another man, I didn't scream, I didn't rage, I didn't even ask why. I just stood there, numb, watching as the woman I trusted with my soul kissed another man like I was already dead. His name was Richard, a smooth-talking executive with the kind of charm that filled a room, and though I'd shaken his hand once or twice at business functions, I never suspected he was shaking up my marriage. Behind closed doors, Claire betrayed me with him, and the weight of it pressed down on me so hard I could barely breathe. But instead of confronting them that night, I walked away quietly, my silence louder than any fight could have been. And I began to plan, because betrayal is a game best answered with truth, not anger. 2 weeks later, Richard's wife, Evelyn, reached out to me, her message brief but cutting. "We need to talk. I know about Claire." I met her in a quiet cafe, the air thick with unspoken pain as we sat across from each other, two strangers linked by the same wound. Evelyn was calm, too calm, her eyes sharp and knowing, and after a moment of silence she leaned in and said, "They think they're clever. They think they're getting away with it. But Richard has secrets Claire doesn't know, and I think you deserve to hear them." My chest tightened as she slid a manila envelope across the table. Inside were photographs, not just of Richard and Claire, but of Richard with other women too. Women I didn't recognize, all different, all recent. He wasn't just betraying Evelyn, he was betraying Claire as well, and suddenly the image of my wife clinging to him felt less like love and more like desperation. "He's been playing her," Evelyn whispered, her voice laced with bitter satisfaction. "Just like he's been playing me. She thinks she stole him from me, but she was never the only one." I sat back, the shock washing over me in waves, because the betrayal I thought was so personal, so targeted, was in reality just another notch in Richard's long list of lies. Claire wasn't special to him. She wasn't cherished, she was just one of many, and the bitter irony twisted inside me. She destroyed our marriage for a man who never intended to give her more than scraps. "Why are you showing me this?" I asked finally, and Evelyn's lips curled into the faintest smile. "Because I want you to see that sometimes revenge doesn't need fire. It just needs patience. She'll learn the truth, and when she does, she'll crumble without us lifting a finger." That night I returned home, carrying the envelope like a weapon. Claire greeted me with that familiar fake warmth, trying to act as if her late nights and distant smiles weren't already screaming the truth. And for once I smiled back, because I knew something she didn't. For days I waited, silent, while the trap Evelyn had set tightened on its own. It wasn't long before Claire came home shaken, her phone clutched in her hand, her eyes wide and hollow. "We need to talk," she whispered, her voice trembling, but I simply leaned back in my chair and said, "About Richard?" Her face went pale, tears welling as she tried to explain, but I slid the photographs across the table before she could speak, watching the shock and horror ripple across her features as she realized. He hadn't just betrayed me, he had betrayed her too. She thought she was in control, thought she was desired above all else, but the truth left her speechless, her lips moving without sound as the weight of it crushed her pride. For the first time since her betrayal, I didn't feel weak. I felt free, because Claire had gambled our marriage for a lie, and now she was the one drowning in betrayal. Evelyn was right. Revenge didn't need fire, it needed patience. And when the truth finally arrived, it burned hotter than anything I could have done.